dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Vishwanath Bhattji, Prasant Sivadas ji, Lavanya madam and Raghavendra ji. I am greatly honored for this opportunity to give my presentation before you. Usually I like a structured presentation so that I can convey my thoughts on a clear, structured manner. And this topic involves aspects of legal, finance, as well as a technology. Before qualifying Indian Corporate Law Service, I am an engineer. So I am a qualified engineer as well to speak on how we can integrate technology for compliance as well as reporting. Next slide, please. Slide control is there. So basically, being a government servant, this is my disclaimer that this does not represent any of the government agencies' views, and this is just for educational or learning purpose. The first speaker, Lavanya ma'am, was telling about artificial intelligence. Yes, it is an intelligence which is a quality of human beings. Reasoning, critical thinking, analytical thinking, all these things are the features of human beings. What we are doing through artificial intelligence is, we are trying to make humans, machines think like humans. So that is what in 1966, Marvin Minsky, who is the pioneer artificial intelligence engineer, he had said this. So basically, our overall topic is regarding employing AI for compliance and reporting. Why compliance and reporting? Because for good corporate governance. We must ensure transparency, accountability, reporting, whatever regulatory compliances are there for overall sustainable growth of the businesses. And there are various compliances, either local or global. There might be foreign compliances, there might be national compliances, as you are able to see here. And at right now, ma'am was telling kind of automation. Yes, we are now moving from human kind of compliance and reporting to little bit of automation. And I will show artificial intelligence compliance and reporting is much higher level. It is still not completely employed. So overall, when we are employing artificial intelligence in compliance and reporting, there is a huge data as well as accuracy, fraud issues, how you are going to detect those things, and real-time monitoring of the compliances. So we have a requirement, basically, how to employ AI. So they can be classified as technological, regulatory requirement, data infrastructure requirement, human resource requirement. So regulatory and legal framework, when you are putting machine to think like humans to make compliance and reporting, there should be an enabling framework. If that framework is not there, whom you are going to hold accountable tomorrow? So that is important. We should have a proper local and global laws, and we need to understand those things. And whatever organizations are doing these AI models, whatever are there, they need to have an ethical framework as well as they need to align with current laws and regulations. And liability framework, which I was talking again. And there will be a need of high quality data infrastructure. So we need to have two kind of data is there. One is structured data, another is unstructured data. So whatever documents you are uploading in websites or even government agencies, except that XBRL formatting, others are just scanned. So reading that is error prone. It is not easy. Machine cannot read it properly unless there is kind of high level of optical character recognition technology is involved. Even in that, I have seen lot of error happens. So if, for example, a negation statement is there in the report, in a para, if it reads as a positive statement, how much error it can result into? Please think about that. So no is eliminated and it will have a different meaning altogether. So we need to have a infrastructure to have that data source which is structured as well as unstructured. And we need to integrate with all the platforms. For example, it's a law and live law, bar and bench. These are very good platforms for Supreme Court as well as High Court, NCLT, all these orders, they are doing a very good job. And there is a MCA, RBI, regular SEBI updates, all these, whatever coming, need to be integrated to the system. It is not going to be just automation. A whole system need to be integrated to build a setup which can make compliance and reporting much more accurate. And we need to train the data set, whatever AI is going to be trained, because it can have a bias. And if you start training the AI model with one type of data and one type of reporting or compliances, it will have its own bias as well as some kind of discrimination might be there in its ultimate conclusion. So this is a kind of problem. So we need to have diverse data sets. For example, there will be a judgment and there can be a counter judgment as well in higher court. And there can be again appeal and lot of things. I'm telling in a practical scenario. And scenario or context may be different in case of judgments. So in those cases, if those things are not properly fed to our data, so it can give something else, something else inference or conclusion. So maintenance of audit trails, kind of blockchain technology you can say. So tomorrow to hold the reporting and compliance, what if it is error prone, if it has some lacuna, then you have to hold something accountable, right? So that infrastructure is also needed. And the technologies, obviously, when we are having AI and machine learning, we need to have different models. There are different technologies. For example, there is a legal language which is coming. So natural language processing at present, for example, can read a legal language, technical language, financial language. So these are all not so easy, even government language. So they need to be trained. This model should be proper so that it can use a proper words wherever required. And detection of frauds, compliance gaps, all these things can happen from a AI model. And predictive analytics is another emerging era. It can forecast whatever risk is there, and obviously I told OCR technology, digitization of reports, which to feed into the AI model, that is basic thing. And data encryption and cyber security is the most important requirement. For example, you imagine a cost audit report getting leaked. So what implications it can have for a company? So that encryption as well as cyber security is the most important thing when we are having an AI model for compliance as well as reporting. And we have obviously scalability and effectiveness. Just imagine a big company which has all the resource can employ a very good AI model, and a small firm is there which cannot afford that. Then what is the use? There is a disparity in a compliance and reporting. So that this scalability and effectiveness as well as cost effectiveness, these are very important things when we are trying to have such models. And regulatory sandbox is the buzzword when we are employing anything which is new technology. For example, RBI has given that regulatory sandboxing where you can try your own technology. For example, fintechs were asked to test it for a specific data set or population so that its effectiveness can be checked. Human expertise and knowledge, yes. We may be good at legal knowledge, financial, or whatever in our own field. However, while we are employing AI model, we need to be very much have a knowledge of whatever the technology is employed, how it is being used, and where the changes are occurring, and how it is getting reported, whatever you are doing. So training is very much essential requirement, and collaboration. As I said, lot of teams need to collaborate. It is not going to be completed in an isolationist era. We need to have a collaboration effort. So explainable AI means whatever AI you have used, for example, for an audit report, if you have used and come to a proper conclusion, it should be based on something justifiable reasons. And that decision should be, that technology now is called as explainable AI. Now we can see what are the ways we can apply AI in reporting and compliance. First one is regulatory compliance monitoring. So you can have an automated regulatory change detection. For example, global level, national level, some policy update happened, new law has come. So alert can come to you immediately so that you can update yourself. Policy enforcement, in the sense non-compliance, if something has missed out, it can generate an alert and tell you that this is to be done. That is thinking. Just an alert is an automation. Telling that this is not been done and you need to do this is a thinking again. Something thinking is involved is an AI. Contract review and policy audits. So this is one thing which I also feel that going to be a huge change in future. Natural language processing is there already. So it can generate a legal language where it can review even a contract, policies, laws, and whatever reporting and compliance is to be done. And automated document verification. So being in ROC office, I know how important is filings, forms. So automatic validation. For example, I give a practical scenario. If a company is having a subsidiary, it has to make a reporting in AOC4 or XBRL format, whatever. It has to select that radio button that it has a subsidiary. So if you have an AI, if you click no, it should automatically tell you that no, you are having subsidiary, don't select no. You have a subsidiary, you select yes. And also make consolidated financials attached in that. So that thinking has to come up. And then AI-driven predictive compliance and real-time interaction. So it has to be an interactive model. Next, financial reporting and auditing. As I said, data automation, analytics, not just automation, based on that, whatever data comes, analysis and giving reasons or conclusion. That is important aspect. So financial statement analysis, detecting gaps, etc. There are specific softwares now. I will give the examples of that also. As I said, XBRL filing is there, transactions, and future financial risk, post-governance data. All these things, predictive analytics is there. ESG and sustainable reporting is an emerging as a new area. So in that area, we can employ AI. Risk management and internal audits. So you can identify your vulnerabilities. And predictive risk modeling again, forecasting the compliance. In future, what kind of compliance you may require and how your organization should be prepared for that. And how much cost you may incur. All these analysis, it can be done. And corporate governance structure evaluation. For example, in audit reports, people write, auditors write internal financial control. How is the status? So if auditor writes, no, everything is fine. But if AI does a transaction analysis and checks, there is issue, then it automatically gives a red flag for you. So this is an area where AI again can help you. And then automated internal audits. So AI-powered board and stakeholder engagement. So this is an important thing, reporting. And also having a, for example, what happens in many times is, they hold a board meeting, they decide, for example, allot these much shares. But sometimes what happens, they defer that meeting and they say that, no, we will put this agenda in the next meeting. However, what our company secretaries do is, they automatically file, these shares have been allotted. Then they come to the issue that, oh my God, this was not done, however, the filing has been done. So this is important. I am giving board meeting reporting. If you have structured your board meeting reporting and converted it to a proper report, you would have understood that, no, this agenda was not passed and I should not make a filing. So this kind of miscommunication or compliance gap that can be addressed. I'm giving a basic example. This can be helped in a larger way. And AI chatbots can answer even stakeholders. So we get a lot of queries from the stakeholders, shareholders, that this basic financial statement was not shared, I did not get that notice, all these things. So this leads to a lot of dissatisfaction among the stakeholders, and they approach regulatory authorities. So this can be addressed in a simple way. So these are the tools and technologies which are openly available in public domain. These data you can check. Use these tools. So this is in global context I am giving, and this is in Indian context. Challenges or threats, you can say. Again, data security breaches, bias in the tools you use. And if you can't explain the AI-driven conclusion, there is a threat of rejection from the regulatory authorities. For example, a flagging of a transaction as fraudulent in AI-based audit report. It is called false positive. So you have to be very careful about the reporting. See, if the AI-driven model, it is ultimately a machine, it is model. Whatever you are feeding, it is getting trained. And based only, it can think, and thinking can happen based on the knowledge it has. For example, our domain knowledge is limited, we can think only to that extent. So the model is also similar, AI model. Unless you feed a data and large set of tools, it cannot identify changes in the, for example, regulatory setup. And significant investment is required, definitely, in hardware, software, training, infrastructure, etc. And misinterpretation is also possible. As I was saying this, instead of no, if negation is not read properly, it can give a false misinterpretation of the report. This is the future. AI will move compliance from reactive to proactive. For example, when a GDPR compliance came in European Union in 2016, so we could very much predict that what kind of structure can come in India in future. Because somewhere else change has happened, regulatory compliance or some change has happened, it should give an alert that predictive compliance is something like this. It can give in another region that, see, in OECD regions this has started. This kind of compliance reporting has started. Please prepare yourself also for future. So this is called a proactive compliance management. And real-time AI monitoring, you can track the changes globally, and regulatory change forecasting, as I was saying. And automated compliance and reporting, you can fully automate. It's a part of it. However, when thinking involved, again it becomes an AI. You can reduce the manual effort. Emergence of AI as a compliance as a service. So we have a lot of professionals here. So just AI model is not at all sufficient. Human oversight and ethical framework, how we use the tool. Because many people think, sir, AI will come, our role may get eliminated. Never, never, I am saying. Professional, that application of mind, contextual understanding, critical thinking, kind of suggestions you humans can think, AI model will take a very long time, not in the near future. So we definitely, human intervention is definitely required. So ultimately a conclusion is, AI is definitely a very good tool. We must embrace that. We should not be left behind. We need to have a collaborative effort. It is not a luxury, it is a kind of necessity now. So it can help in lot of ways. So, but we must remember that this is going to be the future. Thank you.